Well, it seems that this is the season for super wallets, cryptocurrency wallets that go beyond just simply storing our crypto, but offering ways to make it work for us, passively earning. Now, Plus Token was one of the first. It grew from 40 cents per coin to over $100 now. And Cloud Token is the current hot potato. And here comes another contender, sBlock. Now, the interesting thing about sBlock is it was designed for commercial use cases from the outset. So what they were doing was trying to solve some of the key issues that many of the large exchanges and the banks have. So they've come at it from just a slightly different angle. Now, let's take a look at this new contender and see if it's worth investing in. So what is sBlock exactly? Well, if you read their white paper, it's very complicated. It's very technical. And they use a lot of words like quantitative, gravitational, and it's all a bit confusing. So I'm just going to keep it very, very simple. It's a cryptocurrency super wallet. So it does more than a normal wallet. You get paid for keeping your crypto in the wallet. You get a monthly profit of between 6 and 15%. There are 15 levels of compensation for team builders, and it aims to address key issues of security that impacts exchanges and banks. So basically, they've created a platform that is a ready-to-go solution to key issues around security that exchanges and banks have. Now, if you follow my videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of transparency. The more transparent a company is, the less likely they are to scam us. So the first thing I look for in any company is who's behind it. Do they have a strong digital footprint? Can we verify them? So let's see who's behind this. Well, the CEO is Ivan Bolonikin. And this is him with his lovely looking family. And I like that we can see this on Facebook. We can see his history. His history goes back 10 years. That's the kind of thing I like to see. So he's from Kiev in the Ukraine, but he's based in Singapore. As I said, he's got a full history on LinkedIn and Facebook, going back to his very first jobs. So he's got an MBA from the Kiev National Economics University, and he founded a company called Stobox in March 2018. And Stobox is the basis of what sBlock is about. Now, he believes that security token offerings are the next big thing, STOs, security token offerings. And he says that tokenized assets will be in huge demand starting from 2019. And his approach when he's trying to develop a solution to the issues faced by banks and exchanges is to look at it from a commercial standpoint. Now, most people in the blockchain industry come at things from a technical point of view, which is understandable. If they understand the blockchain, they're usually geeks. But this guy is coming at it from the commercial aspect. What are the main issues faced by exchanges from a commercial perspective and banks in the adoption of blockchain? And that's essentially what his platform does. So I think it's an interesting angle. So that's the CEO. And next up we have Fabien Bouillet. And this is him giving a talk on astrophysics at TED. So you can search for Fabien on Google and YouTube and hear some of his talks that he's given. Very interesting guy, very clever guy. Now he's the vice president and he's from France. And again, like Ivan, the CEO, he's got a full history on LinkedIn and Facebook. And as you can see, he's spoken at TED conferences, and the important point about that is he's got a reputation. People with reputations usually want to protect their reputation to build upon it. So they don't associate themselves with companies that are dodgy, that are going to exit scandalous. Now, he calls himself a fintech entrepreneur. Fintech is financial technology, which is obviously very important for us as investors. And one of the companies that he used to work for is called Nanotechnology World Network, and he was a member of their board of directors. And basically what they did there was they accelerated the integration of nanotechnologies into various industries like medical, energy, electronics, transportation, etc. And part of his role there was to connect researchers and organizations. So what I'm trying to do here is build a picture of this guy and how important he is in this context. He's also a blockchain architect. Now, he was a tech advisor for Celebrus Advisory. That's Celebrus in Malaysia. Now, Celebrus Advisory was awarded the top 10 best blockchain technology consulting service companies in Asia Pacific for 2019. I know that's a mouthful, but again, he has a credible history and a good reputation. And he's also a co-founder of PubliSci. PubliSci's mission was to enable scientists, researchers, and enthusiasts worldwide to crowdsource by creating collaborative, inclusive, and an accessible platform online. The important thing about that is, if you're going to have a vice president of a company, you want him to be able to be great at networking, to be able to have a reputation, be able to pull people together, to be able to collaborate and convince people. And that's this guy. He's a great talker. And another really important point from his history is Google. He was an agency relationship manager for Google. And I think that's perfect. You know, he's mixing the ability to talk, communicate, collaborate, engage people from a technical and a financial point of view. Great guy to have as your vice president behind a blockchain company. Now, if we look on the sblock.com website, we can see there's a big influence from Fabien in relation to his interests in science and astrophysics. Now, if we go to the menu here and look at the sblock team, these are the key foundation members here. And then there's lots of these council members who are like representatives in all the different countries. Now, this guy here is called Jean Carrot, Chief Technical Advisor. Now, I'm going to assume that this is just a mistake because the LinkedIn for this guy, and this lady here work fine, but doesn't work for this guy. And I couldn't find anyone called Jean Carrot, but I did find this guy, and his name is Yevgeny Dyaev. Now, I think this is just a genuine mistake because I found Yevgeny on Ivan's Facebook, giving talks on the Stowbox platform that Ivan was involved in. So they've worked together in the past. So I think it's just a mistake on the website. Now, again, this is a very new company. There's a few little bugs in their app. So I'm not going to penalize them in terms of risk assessment because of this. Now, Yevgeny, he's calling himself Gene, I guess because he lives in America in the West. But Dyaev is not similar to Carrot at all. So let's quickly look at Yevgeny's history. So this is Yevgeny here at the World Blockchain Summit in April in Dubai, and he is the CTO, as we've seen, and he's from Odessa in the Ukraine. And I really like that he has a full history going back 10 plus years in LinkedIn and Facebook. So there's tons of stuff about him online, which is great. He's a very clever guy, speaks multiple languages, and he's very ambitious. 6 years ago, he was repairing PCs in New York. He then went on to setting up an Audi dealership and then worked in lots of companies specializing in cryptocurrency and blockchain. Now, he's very enthusiastic about tokenization. There's a really good article he wrote, and if I just read you his definition about what tokenization is. He says, in a nutshell, tokenization is a process of converting almost any type of assets into tokens. This digital copies of assets is recorded in a blockchain and then can be traded, shared, gifted, or hodled. It could be a physical object like a piece of art or a house, or even intangible objects like credits and interests. So I thought that was quite interesting. Now, he's got lots of experience in blockchain companies, as I mentioned, and that includes startups and in product development, which is perfect for this. Now, this company only started in May 2019, so very, very young. Now, obviously, they brought the technology of the Stowbox platform with them. Now, the following article appeared in Reuters, and it's pretty hard to get your stuff printed in Reuters, and this really helped give them some traction. I'm just going to read a small bit of the article to you. So the article is entitled Blockchain to Transform with the Launch of Groundbreaking Digital Asset Wallet. And this section here, unveiled in May at the second Malta AI and Blockchain Summit, the platform will be the world's most extensive and most decentralized community system, utilizing leading blockchain technology as well as military-grade protection to deliver the world's most secure, transparent, and stable digital asset wallet. With a core team from the world's top universities, sBlock's innovations will address many of the issues plaguing cryptocurrencies today. Parts of that article also then got printed in Yahoo Finance and Business Wire. So they're getting a lot of press, which is great. Okay, so how do we make money with sblock? It's very nice having all this technology and selling it to banks and exchanges, but what does it mean for us? How do we make money from this? Well, firstly, we register on their website, and these guys do KYC, know your customer. So you have to give your real details, your real name, and later on you'll need to verify that with your passport or your national identification document. And when you register on their website, that'll give you a username and a password. You then download their app from the Play Store, install it on your phone or your mobile device. You can then deposit either Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin. You then stake your coins, meaning they can invest it. So the sblock company can invest your money. Now that means you're allocating your funds to them and they go away and try and make profit with it. Now you can withdraw that money at any time, but if you withdraw it within the first 30 days, you pay a 5% penalty. But then after 30 days, there's no penalty. You can withdraw it anytime you want. And the only fees that they have are a 1% withdrawal fee. So bear that in mind when you're calculating your profit. And once our money is staked, we earn daily profit passively. And I mean passively. There's no need to sign up anybody, no need to go and get referrals, etc. But if you want to, then there's nice bonuses and there's a whole compensation plan in relation to that. But that's not for everybody. Most people will just want to make profit passively. With this, you can make between 6 and 15% a month, just keeping your money in there. So that's sblock. So let me summarize everything now. Now, whenever I'm summarizing a platform, I like to start with what I don't like. Now, I know these guys are new, but I haven't been able to see evidence of how they make their profits yet. And that's a really important part of transparency for me. Now, I've asked the CTO and the CEO for interviews. I haven't had a reply yet. Their support at the moment is very sketchy. Now, they do have Telegram support, but for example, the admin of their Telegram group has been offline for the last 4 days, so I haven't had any of my questions answered. Not being able to see evidence of how they make their profits definitely impacts my risk assessment for them, but I'm going to give them a little bit of leeway on it. Because of the strength of the team behind this, because of their reputations, because of the transparency of their history, and because their company is so well financed and they're able to co-host the World Blockchain Forum, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt at this stage that they are a legitimate company and they're not a Ponzi. But I can't give them the full green light until I see evidence of how they make their profits. And the other thing I don't like is that they've made it overly complex. Now their app is pretty simple, but how they explain everything, they use very complex language, and I know probably documentation and explanations are probably the last thing on their to-do list, but I think it could put a lot of people off. Now I haven't used any of the complex language that they use in my review, and I won't be doing that in my follow-up videos either, like in how to sign up, how to make a deposit, etc., because it's just unnecessary, the complexity that they've added to this. Now hopefully you find it simple, but I think some people who come to the product, they won't know how to get started. But that's all I don't like. That's actually very, very little. And now for the things that I do like. Now, transparency. I love that the senior team are transparent. I love being able to see a full digital history of all the key people. That is fantastic. So that means they're much less likely to scam us, which is great. And that team is a very strong team. Now, I only mentioned 3 of them, but there's a lot of strong characters in their team. And obviously, with a good team, you can go far. Now, I mentioned that they were the co-host of the World Blockchain Forum. Now, that is pretty impressive. So that's at the end of this month in June in Singapore. So to co-host it gives them a lot of visibility. And a week after the Blockchain Forum in Singapore, they're an official partner of the Global Digital Economy Summit in Bangkok on the 29th of June. So that's pretty impressive. And just another small point about this company, they registered in Switzerland and they have a main office there, an actual office. Now, they have won several awards already for their tech. And when you're proud of your tech and you're co-hosting these blockchain forums, you've got a bit of a spotlight on you. So your stuff has to be good because you're going to be scrutinized. So I like the fact that they're putting themselves forward like that. And I really like that they're pioneers in the field of security token offerings. It's an exciting field, and I think it's got a huge amount of growth ahead of it. I also like that Reuters and over 500 other news outlets are talking about them. You know, getting that type of exposure is really positive. And I like the fact that this is the very beginning. They're a new company. Now it's up to you to decide or whether you agree that STOs are likely to do well. I don't know if they will, but I really like the idea of it. And I think it's a great time to get involved at the beginning. So personally, I am very keen on this company. Sure, there's a couple of things that I'd like to see that are improved, and I'd like a bit more visibility, I'd like a bit more transparency. But from what I've seen so far, I'm very impressed. I'm definitely investing with these guys, and I'm very keen to see how far they go. So that's my review of sblock. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of it. And I'll do the usual follow-on videos for sign up, depositing, team building, and all that good stuff with regular updates on how I'm getting on with this platform.